Welcome to week 4 of the Bill Neese's Coaches Show. I'm your host, Chip Hare. With us is Coach Bill Neese. And Coach, we just wrapped up our non-league, as we call our first 3 games of our non-league season, as we were getting ready to go into our GWOC Friday night. Played a very, very good Franklin team at Franklin, where the Indians fell short in a score of 30-6. A game where really things. We had 3 turnovers. They had 3 turnovers. We had opportunities to take care of some advantages. Just couldn't move the ball. No. But defensively, you wouldn't know it, but our defense did some good things out there.
Our defense is doing some good things, and the problem that we have is that we're getting 2 and 3 turnovers a game. We've been doing that for the last couple of games. We're just not moving the sticks. We're flat out. We're not getting enough first downs. We're not moving the football. We're not getting enough positive yards. All the things that hurt an offense are things we're going to have to do. And every time that happens, every time we go 3 and out, what eventually happens is just like a slow grind. Eventually, that field position gets back, and then that coupled with some special teams, some very uncharacteristic special teams mistakes on our part, it ends up and just throws you over the edge, and all of a sudden here comes a quick touchdown.
One of the things that we talked about last week's show was we talked about their speed, and they certainly showed some quicks on their feet, and they're. I talked off camera Friday about they have a guy who's that perennial shortstop in baseball and that point guard in basketball and that quarterback in football who's just very versatile and very athletic, and obviously he was very good, and he has some complimentary guys to go around. They're a pretty good team.
They're a very good football team, and he was able to play quarterback, he was able to play receiver, he was able to play running back, and they pretty much were able to get him the ball as many different ways as they can, and we. Like we said, did some good things on defense, but you can only do those things so long before you have to put some points on the board. And really, the one swing that was really tough on us was an 8-second swing where we got a safety for 2 points, kickoff, short kick, run it back for a touchdown, boom, boom, 8 seconds. They got 8 points on the board.
One of the things that sticks out, if you're an Indian fan, was our drive coming right out of halftime in the third quarter. We just moved it down the field, and you could just tell we were on a mission and really looked sharp.
Well, we thought that too, and that's what we talked about at halftime. And one of the things that we always like about deferring to the second half of the coin toss is you can get in that situation. So, in essence, in our mind, it was an 8-0 game. We come out of the locker room, we start, move the ball down, mix the run and pass, do a very good job, score, and at the 8:34 mark of the third quarter, we feel like it's time for us to take control of the game, and we did not do it.
One of the things that came out, you talk about turnovers on our end, it's been 2 games in a row where we get that long snap over the punter. Not to blame anybody, but those are the kind of little things that kind of hurt you, particularly when you're on the road.
Oh, definitely. And once they turn into points, and the big thing we emphasize tonight, again at special teams practice, is right now, as 3 games into it, we've been outscored on special teams wise 12-4. And that's not acceptable to be able to try to win football games, getting scored that many times.
And very uncharacteristic of the Indians, and I know we're going to shore that up and take care of that.
Yeah, we've got to. We're going to have to make some changes. We're going to have to do some things a little differently, but we cannot, keep operating in that, in that fashion. We've got to get. I think one of the big things is that we've had some injuries, and I'm not using that as an excuse, but what I'm saying is once you get an injury, then it forces a couple of our players to have to play both ways. And the example would be Ben Smeezing. So Ben Smeezing now has to play offense and defense full time. Thus, Ben's got to get off some special teams. So we get him off the special teams. Here comes some younger guys in, don't have that experience, don't have that, that training under their belt, so to speak. So we have a little bit of problem there. So we're going to be able to solidify it a little bit better, identify who's got to play a little bit more both ways, and hopefully we can go into a game and play the people that have been practicing all week. We had a couple surprises again Friday night with us, some people that weren't able to play. We had 2 starters that weren't able to play in the game Friday night. So those are the kind of things that affect your special teams.
Right.
And that's why I brought up the injury thing, not necessarily, like I said, as an excuse, but as a reason for the special teams sometimes eroding.
You talk about planning and a couple surprises. It's because you do plan for, hey, if this guy gets hurt, we're going to move this guy in this spot. If this guy gets hurt, well, we've been in that position where we've had to we've looked like a chess board at times where we've been moving guys, and as you said, we've got some guys who are playing positions not used to, and it's not that they're not playing hard. They know it's just getting reps.
Right.
And Friday night, obviously, you're going to have a little bit more time now to make that plan. So we take care of West Carrollton. As we get into West Carrollton, I think it should be noted, and maybe I'm going on a limb here, conceivably probably two of the toughest games back-to-back on our schedule. And those two teams, and I say two teams, Trotwood and Franklin, they're perennial playoff teams. And if Franklin has a very good opportunity, if they can get through Valley View and Bellbrook, they probably can run the table and get into the playoffs off their schedule.
Yeah, you would think, and Trotwood went down to Middletown, a big Division I school, and I think beat them 55-0 Friday night. It was a tough quest for us, and 2 away games in a row. And the thing that we emphasize tonight, though, also is the fact that we've got West Carrollton, and we've got to get back on our feet. However we're going to do it, we got to figure out how to get back on our feet, and then we're going to go on the road again for another grueling 2 in a row with Xenia, and then play a Thursday night game with the Sydney Yellow Jackets. So we've got to get right quick.
Yeah, and no better time to do it at home. No better time to do it against West Carrollton. Of course, they come off with a 22-20 win against Greenon. However, we really feel like we still got guys, and I'm seeing them in the hallway. Talking to the guys, and they still believe. They're not throwing anything away. They still have great belief that we're going in Friday, not just to win, but we're moving that as a step forward to propel us into week 5 and 6.
And we've got to make sure that we get in there and get things right. And West Carrollton's coming off a big win. They've got the talented offense. They've got a new quarterback. They're playing, is throwing the ball real well and running the option real well. So we've got a work cut out for it.
Defensively, what can we expect to see from the Pirates?
They're running 50 defense. We've seen a 50 a couple times this year, but they're going to run a straight 50 defense. Now, in the past, we've had 2 of the 3 teams that we've played so far have come in with kind of a defense made just for us, maybe packing some more people in the box than it's normal. But we haven't seen them do that at any given point, and we don't have a great history back playing them. So we saw some film of them last year, 3 or 4 games last year. But we expect to play generally 50 defense. Defensive ends are pretty aggressive coming upfield.
The Indians get into these crossover games, and this is now our new portion of our schedule where these don't count for the division games, but yet they're important because every game's important. Mm-hmm. But there are 2 new opponents that we haven't seen in a few years. We've scrimmaged Xenia.
Yeah,
now, we used to play West Carrollton years ago when they were in our league, but it's been a while since we played West Carrollton. It's good to get that rivalry renewed.
I think it is, and it's good, but we have a little familiarity with West Carrollton because, like I said, we've been able to get some film of them and watch. We knew the rotation was coming up, so we'd get a chance on a film trade or something to see them. And of course, Xenia's been they've been coming up here for quite a few years doing our second scrimmage. So we've got good familiarity with there. Bob DeLong's a good friend from Tecumseh days, and Mike Snyder's up there too running the offense for him. So it's a good game.
Hopefully the ghost of Bob Brigatti won't be around.
Actually,
and for you don't know that Bob Brigatti was a longtime coach at West Carrollton and goes back with Coach Neves for years and myself when I was at the university.
I saw Bob Brigatti Saturday at the University of Dayton game. He was there. His son was reffing.
Oh,
and Brigatti was
he's
there.
reffing now?
Yeah, son's a ref, college ref.
Jeez. That's showing our age a little bit.
Yes, it is.
Well, Coach, we're this year's senior feature is Hunter Hawk. Hunter certainly has gone through a multitude of an unusual tear of ACL twice, but has been a good leader, not just this year, but also in last year's playoff run team. Talk a little about Hunter and what he brings to the team and to our locker.
Well, he's a great kid, great family. His dad is a freshman coach. His mom does a great job with the film and all the things around. And it's a great football family. And he comes in with just a great attitude every day. I mean, for someone that's had to go through not 1 but 2 knee operations, and he bounced back both of them. He's a really bright spot for us out in that corner position. He's got 2 interceptions starting off the year, and he's playing with a lot more confidence than he played with in the past years, and I think that has an effect on how he's playing. So we're looking forward to having a big year out of him.
A good attitude. You talk about someone that just there's always a bright side to things, and he always brings that.
He's that guy.
We need to have guys like that, and certainly we'll look forward to talking to Hunter here on the second half of the Bill Neese's Coaches Show. And again, remember, West Carrollton Friday night at Alexander Stadium, 7 o'clock kickoff. Tickets are at Thomas downtown or at Piqua High School. Adults pre-sale are $6. Students are $4. course, they're going to be $8 at the gate, so make sure you get those pre-sale tickets at Thomas and at Piqua High School. We'll come back for Hunter Hawk, second half of the Bill Neese Coaches Show. Welcome to the second half of the Bill Neese Coaches Show. I'm with senior safety Hunter Hawk. And Hunter, welcome to the Bill Neese's Coaches Show. We're glad to have you here this week.
Thanks for having me.
Talk a little bit about the season thus far. It's been a little bit of a disappointment with injuries and some tough losses. But from your perspective, you know all about injuries and overcoming some difficult times. Talk a little bit about that, seeing your teammates in that position and what senior year has been for you thus far and where you see it to go.
Well, I'm proud of our seniors because we came a long way. We had a couple injuries, but I think we'll still be all right. They're still there supporting us. They do everything still with us. They travel, come to all the practices, do everything with us, still support us. And we just got to go out and play our hearts out and start winning all these games.
Talk a little bit about your injury. You didn't tear your ACL once.
Twice.
You've done it twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was that like for you? To hear it and then be able to come back from it physically.
Well, the first time I did it, I was just like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I came back about 7 months in, tore it again, and I thought I was done because I was told I'd be done from football if I did it again. Well, went to the doctor. He said, if you want to play college football, we're going to get you to college football. He said, let's get you back to the season first. So I was like, all right. Missed out on my sophomore year, then came back last year, played, started. It was amazing. It was great.
Had a good year, of course, made the playoffs that last year. And
Yep.
I know it was good for you. And you also play basketball. For our viewers out there, they're used to seeing you on the hardwoods.
Yeah. I came back for basketball. That's when I originally did it. Freshman year in basketball. Came back for basketball. Had a great season there. Made a run. And hopefully do it again this year too.
One thing, Hunter, we can certainly say is you're not shy of the camera. You're part of our digital media program at the high school, which does commercials and all types of videos. Talk a little about your future. Where do you see your future being?
Well, I want to go somewhere and play college football. And I want to go study criminal justice. That's my main thing. I want to go and be hopefully a police officer somewhere.
Somewhere there's a TV camera, because you're good with where any of that stuff is. You're just kind
Yeah.
of, it gravitates to you.
Yeah, cameras love me.
You talked, yeah, I can tell. You talked about, we just saw last week, you sent a tweet out. You had your first college offer. Talk a little about that.
Cincinnati Christian University offered me. That was my first one, hoping to get more in, but got my first one under my belt, and I was excited. They told me they loved what they saw, and they want me to come play for them, so it's an option now.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hunter, we certainly look forward to the rest of this year. And real quick, what's some of the keys of Friday night against the Pirates?
Well, we just got to forget about last week, go out and just play our game. We just got to play our game and go get a W.
Hunter, thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
Good luck the rest of the year.
Thank you.
Well, that will wrap up the Bill Neese's Coaches Show. Remember, Friday night, the Indians will return home here to Alexander Stadium, 7 o'clock kickoff in the first of the GWA crossover series against the Pirates from West Carrollton. Friday night here, get your tickets either at Thomas or at Piqua High School so you can watch number 30, Hunter Hawk.
Yes,
For
sir.
Hunter Hawk, I'm Chip Hare. Thank you for joining the Bill Neese's Show. We'll see you Friday.